Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Nora, and on this channel I follow a cash-based budget system, and I am working hard to pay off all of my debts and build up my emergency fund. So if that's something that you might be interested in, please stick around, because today I'm going to share my new debt update. This is sort of a merge of the February and March 2026 updates, and I'll explain why I combined the 2 months. So let's get into it. And just a disclaimer, my nails look horrible. I'm aware of that. I don't want to talk about it. All right, so I got my tax refunds in, as many people I'm sure did. I don't want to disclose the full amounts that I got and what I did with everything. That's not relevant to this video, but I also want to share that I did get the arrears balance that was owed, the child support arrears that my older daughter's father owed. That all came through in one lump sum. And I think that was taken out of his tax return. I'm not entirely sure, but that's relevant. So between that and the tax refund, I put a lot of it towards debt. Let me get my calculator out. Okay. So I'm just going to get right into it. So I paid off a couple of accounts. So the first one I paid off was my loan, TIAA number 2. And I paid off $721.23. So that's gone. That was originally, I can't remember what the original amount was, and somebody asked me to show the previous amounts, and I don't have it ready. I'll put it up on the screen what the original amount was, and my monthly payment was like $36 every 2 weeks, so that's about $70, give or take a couple dollars, something like that. And that's my cat trying to get back into my bedroom, but I'm not gonna let him in right now. And I also paid off another loan, Upstart number 1. It was I paid $929. And it started at $1,100. So I guess I don't know what the starting balance was on this one because I didn't write it down. But this loan started at $1,100, and when I got those refunds and that lump sum payment, I paid it off, which was $929. I also paid a collections account from my Chase card. I actually did pretty good with this one. They sent me a letter, December or January. They sent me a letter. The balance would have been like, oh my gosh, $2,700. Do I still have to post it? I don't know, my drawer's kind of a mess, but the balance was like way higher than this, and they sent me a letter offering to settle for the $778, and I told them I would. Well, they called me and we talked on the phone, and then the same day that we talked, I got the letter. So I had until their offer was good through like the end of February, like towards the end of February, but of course you can still always negotiate with the creditor. But I paid this, I think it was when I forget which whatever, when I got my deposits in, I went online and I paid this. I'm going to put a screenshot up if I still have it, because when I logged into the website that they gave me to pay it off, there was a pop-up that said like, did you get a tax refund? Perhaps you could use it to pay off your debt. And I just thought it was so funny because I'm like, man, they know this time of year. But anyway, so my Capital One collections, that's paid in full. I don't remember what the amount was. It was probably around $500. And the reason I don't remember the amount is because when this initially came through, I started setting up monthly payments, and I don't even remember what it was that I was paying on it. And then I messed up and I thought that I could use like my snowball money to pay off what was showing as remaining balance, but because that was a negotiated balance, they wanted me to then pay it in full. So I canceled the whole thing, and then it never brought me back to what we originally had. And so then when I had to make a payment plan again, I just decided to pay $97 for a month for 3 months. So I'm going to guess the total amount of this one was probably around $500. So I'm going to add that on my calculator. But this wasn't paid. This wasn't paid out of my tax refund money. This was just, the last payment was in March. So I guess I can subtract that 500 because that didn't count. Do I have anything else? No. Okay. So what I put towards my debt from my tax refund is $2,428. So that was pretty cool. I feel pretty good about that. And I'm gonna share my credit score update in a minute. Now the accounts I have left, let me clear this out again because I'm gonna keep the balances running. So I have another TIAA loan. The current balance is $1,631.85. Now I have to look at this because for some reason my March payment didn't go through. For some reason they were taking it out of my Capital One checking account and not my new Bank of America checking account. So it didn't go through yet this month. But it's okay. I can still fix it. But I ordered this booklet so that I could really take a look at what my starting balance is, which was $2,878.74. My interest rate is 9.5%, which I don't care about the interest rate. I do the snowball repayment method. Minimum payment is $64 a month, right? Yes. And I started this at some point in 2023. I couldn't find the origination date, but pretty sure it was 2023. And so I'll put the date in that I pay it off. And I'm seeing here, going back through the numbers, that there's $14 of interest being applied. So my $64 payment is really like $50. So I wanted something like this so that I could like force myself to look at what the interest was, so that as I applied this debt snowballs, I can really, make a bigger difference here. So once I get this March payment resolved, I'm going to update these sections here. But so currently my balance is $1,631.85 because the March payment didn't go through yet. All right, this is good thick paper. So the next one is Upstart loan number 2. I took 2 out from each creditor and 1 each is paid. So the starting balance was $2,300. My interest rate is insane. It's 27.5. The minimum payment is $70.93, and the origination date is July 24th, 2025. So I pay this bi-weekly. So that's why it's broken down. So the $70.93 gets paid twice a month. I set it up to be paid on my payday, which actually is the day that I'm filming this video. Is it still the 20th? Yes, it is. So I actually have to go in and write the interest added, which is about $23. And then the new balance, because actually this is today, this process today, because it's payday. So now I'm just going to say that this balance is 2107. Can't read my writing. Is that 0.99? Okay. So that's that. And I'm writing these in this notebook. I'm writing them in the order, like the balance order from lowest to highest. So this is what I'm going to, this is the order that I'm going to be attacking the debts. And I do plan on being consumer debt free by December of 2027. December of 2027, yes. I'll get more into that. So my Discover card, nothing exciting happening here. If you've been here, you know that last year they put me on a some sort of repayment plan where the account is not I can't use anything because I'm over my limit, but to prevent it from going into like default and reflecting negatively on me, they reduced my interest rate and my monthly payment. April's payment is the last payment at that special rate. I don't want you to see my nails, they're so gross. So once May comes around, my balance will be $2,700, and forget, I messed all this up. I was writing a different debt. My balance will be $2,700 because that's my credit limit, and then I'll start capturing all of this here. So nothing happened with Discover, but that's just going to be the next balance, the next debt in order. And I don't know what my interest rate is going to be, and I don't know what my minimum payment will be once it goes back up. I'm guessing, if I remember, it was around $70 on the Discover, but I really don't remember too well. So the next one, this isn't in my name. This is something that somebody did a favor for me. So they allowed me to use their card for something, and I'm paying them back. So it started at $10,000 in 2022. The current interest rate is 19.49%, and the minimum payment is $250. And I actually have to update this because I sent the money to them today, but we're just going to go with this balance. Oh, I got to add my Discover. Let me add that Discover here. I'm adding up my balances as we go. So the balance as of February was $4,735.39, which means I'm more than halfway there. So deduct the $250 from here, and that's like my true balance, but I only just sent it to the person today to pay it. And then what's next? Okay. Don't come at me. So I did actually pay off my American Express with my tax return. I don't remember. Oh, $942 I paid off. That was what the balance was. My credit line is $1,000. So I was sitting right there. Also, if you don't know, my paychecks are currently being garnished. Today, March 20th, should be the last full garnishment that comes out of my paycheck. It's about $250. In 2 weeks when I get paid again, they should only be taking less than $100, but I have to call them to make sure that they're not going to take the full 10%. And so that's sort of why it all started sort of catching up with me. Like, I was doing okay initially with the garnishment, and then I wasn't doing okay. And I don't want to get into that on this video because it's almost done. It doesn't matter. So I did use my Amex. So right now my goal is to make the regular payments on time, stay under 30% utilization. Starting balance, it's revolving, so I don't really have a starting balance. The interest rate is 28.40%, and the minimum payment is $40. So on the 24th, I paid off the balance in full. And on March 11th, why did I write this? Okay, so this is the statement date. So this was this counted from March. So this will be due in April. So the minimum payment is $40. Amount charged was $219.09, and the interest added was $11.10. So once I make that payment, I will update it. Now, it's not going to be zero. I'm going to be perfectly honest. It's not going to be zero. But I have a plan. I've budgeted out like my future paychecks for when they go back to normal and my garnishment is done. And I'm going to be able to pay down, like, it'll be paid off. How do I explain it? So I'm going to pay this amount for April, and then I'm going to pay the remaining amount, which will be around, it'll be under $300. And that'll be the May payment. And then I'm still caught up. So I'm not like going back into debt per se. It's all budgeted. It's just sort of hard to explain because of the garnishment. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of hard to explain. Doesn't matter. That's why I'm showing it here, because I want to hold myself accountable. And okay, and here's my garnishment. So I'm not going to add the American Express to my debt balance because that's revolving. All right, now the garnishment. And I can't remember what account this is. I want to say it's one of my city cards. I can't remember it, but this is the starting balance was $1,704. It started on December 26th was the first garnishment. And these are all the amounts that I've paid. So I think I misspoke before. It's $236. Now the reason this one here is lower is because I took a day off of work and I didn't have the full PTO to cover it. But I didn't care. So it was 10% of like my gross pay. And so obviously it was lower, but it doesn't matter. So I have to update this today because another $236 came out. So the balance was $324. So let me just add plus 324.54. And then I'm going to subtract 236.83. Although I thought it was higher when I looked. Okay. And that's my total running balance. So I had to update this because it processed. I got paid today, but I don't know if it's going to reflect in the ADP app until Monday. So that's why the next one, if you subtract 236 from this, it's under $100. So that's why the April 3rd check is going to be less. It should be less. I have to call them to make sure. But anyway, I cannot believe that this is almost over. This felt like it felt so daunting. When I got this notice in December, actually, December 15th. So my first paycheck was December 26th, but I got the notice December 15th that this was going to start. And I go more into this in an older video. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out another video that I have. I don't have that many. So this felt like it just was taking forever, and I'm almost here. I got one left because this is today, the 20th. And I got one left, and I can't believe it. And my budget can go back to normal. Oh, I can go back to normal cash stuffings. And then I think... Okay, so I do have student loans. So right now, my debt, not including my Amex, my debt is $11,262.94. This includes the garnishment. But I have student loans. They're due starting in May. And I'm going to estimate that they're sitting just under $58,000. So when we add that in, oh, I'm under 70,000. Oh God, I hope they're under. If they really are under the 58,000, I might actually be under $70,000 of debt now. I can't find the paper where I had it. The balance last time I was over 70,000. I think I was like 72,000. And I'll put it up on the screen when I edit. But I did pay off a good chunk of debt with my tax refunds. And I just want to show that I have been putting money into my emergency fund. Now, this isn't really proof. This is just sort of taking my word for it. But I can put a screenshot in. Because I've been putting money in every time I get paid from a side hustle. and I have $100, $200, and $300 in my little emergency fund right now. And it doesn't sound significant, but you know what? I'm proud of it. So it's a start. And every time I have a little side business, I'm trying to get my Etsy shop going and getting sales, but that's not happening right now. But I do I do make social media posts for a laundromat that's near me. And so I bill him every 2 weeks. And for the last few weeks, I've been taking $50 of what I pay myself. So obviously I leave money in the business account, but then I send the rest to myself, and I take $50 of that money and automatically transfer it to my high yield savings account where my emergency fund is. And that's what I'm going to do until I get at least the $1,000. Okay. So now here's the big update. I shared it in the last video and I'm going to keep sharing it, which is my credit score. So last video, if I remember, it was a 605, which was up from the time before that I shared, and it was, I don't know, the 580s or something. I can't remember. But now, as of, I want to say I took the screenshot March 15th, somewhere around there I took the screenshot, which I'm going to put it up on the screen. But my credit score is now a 614. And I know for sure all these debts that I paid off did not hit my credit score yet, like my credit report. So that's going to go up even more. So that's very exciting. So instead of now being rated as poor, I'm now rated as a fair credit score. And that's exciting. You know, I got a ways to go, but one of my financial goals is to get my credit score to 640 by the end of the year and stay there. So I think I'm making pretty darn good progress considering it's March and I'm 26 points away from my goal. And I went up 9 points in a month. And so as I continue to pay down the debt and keep my credit utilization low, that's going to keep climbing. Now, if somebody cares enough, I am considering doing a debt consolidation loan. The offer I have right now, it wouldn't cover the full amount because of the fees that come with it, but I could handle, you know, that difference. But the interest rate on the one loan is like 35%. So I'm going to put it into the debt snowball calculator and see where I would be saving more money. I don't think I'd be saving more time because I did the math. And in order to get done by December of 2027, I would be paying the same amount as if, you know, if I didn't do the loan. But I'm wondering if I would be paying more money. So I'm going to run the debt snowball calculator for both ways and make a decision from there. But my fiance did do a debt consolidation loan and he got approved for the full amount that he needed. And so we were doing the debt snowball calculator for him. And he should definitely be consumer debt free, and maybe even with his student loans, I'm not sure, but definitely consumer debt free by the end of 2027. And we're really pushing for that date because we're getting married in 2028. So I know I'm going to have my student loans when we get married. That's inevitable. I can't pay off 70 grand of debt in a year and a half, but I can pay off the 11,000 that I have. That's like easy. So yeah, if somebody cares to give their feedback on that, I don't get many comments on my videos, which is fine. But if somebody has experience and you wouldn't mind sharing it, that would be much appreciated because I don't really know what to do yet. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you're proud of me because I'm proud of me. And I hope that everybody is making good decisions with their tax refunds if you're getting one. And I will see you in the next one very, very soon. Have a good one, everyone.